I've watched these animals were taken in a day. I've watched them born. I've raised them from birth. They were completely raised on this ranch alone, completely raised on grass. They've had an incredible life on this ranch, and I think about the importance of, this day in the sense that this animal has contributed to the health of this land, and it's now going to contribute to the health of our own bodies. And there's just a certain sacred value to that when we see how that cycle life is really connected. This relationship between the land and the animal and my health and my family's health, it's all related, and that animal is part of that process that benefits all of us. Knowing this full cycle life is really important to me. Really just a kind of a special day, if you will, because it all comes to fruition on this one day. We've taken such extreme care of these animals. They've never had a medical issue, not one time in their life. They've never had to be treated with any kind of antibiotic ever, or any kind of vaccine of any sort, partly because they've been just isolated here with no other outside contact. What we do here on harvest day is completely different when you compare that to a conventional operation where animals are sent to a concentrated animal feeding operation. They're packed in tight quarters, they're fed corn for potentially 90 days, and then they're taken to be harvested at some long trip to get there. There's tremendous amounts of stress on that animal. What we do here is completely different. It's literally me going out into the pasture where they've been grazing, zero stress on that animal, get him up in the trailer, and within minutes we're at the butcher and the animal's being harvested. There's a difference in the quality of the meat and the taste of the meat because they're not having that stress put on them continually for potentially even months at a time in concentrated animal feeding operations, where this is like their whole life. Nothing, they wake up and it's the same day as it was for the last 2 years of their life. Minimize the stress on the animal is the main thing. Minimize that stress. My whole goal is to develop a food company that changes the food system, in that, every animal that comes off a ranch we know how that farmer operates, and we know something about him, and we want to get more local food in the food system. It's these large conglomerates that have just crushed the family farm, and it's not a healthy model. It's not good for our health. It's not good for the economic health of these small farms and ranches, and it's really has taken advantage of the little guy, and we want to flip that model on its head and try to get the little guy back where he can make a decent profit. And if we can show consumers that, hey, here's one system that shows your food grown in these concentrated animal feeding operations, nothing but grain, or here's a different system that comes right off pasture. It's a healthier animal, it's healthier for us to eat, and you're helping that local farmer. If we can get that local farmer back to making a profit again, that's going to dramatically change these small rural towns and all the issues that come in small towns where there's little money to be made. But if we can change that system, take it away from the big conglomerates and put it back in the small farmers' hands, I think that's a huge win for REP and the general public in general, and just changing our food system.